Hello. In this video, I will be explaining how your sketchbook is going to work and how you're going to submit assignments and what it should look like. Your sketchbook is going to be a place where you work out your ideas for your projects, where you experiment, where you practice techniques. You will have weekly sketchbook assignments. Sometimes those assignments will be a single image if it's more complicated. Sometimes there'll be multiple images. They will relate to techniques that we are doing and using in the projects, but they will also be, it'll be a place for you to just experiment and explore and practice. Your sketchbook is yours. This is not something that you would share out necessarily, other than with me, so that I can grade it and make sure that you're keeping up with the sketchbook assignments. It is not for other classes. As you'll see in my sketchbook intro document that I want you to read, this should be something dedicated to just this class, but you can have things in there that are not necessarily for assignments. If you use it for drawing other things, anything, that's entirely up to you. And the more you practice drawing, the better you'll get at it. So that's partly why we use the sketchbook, and what we use it for is practice. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about what kind of sketchbook to get. Now, just like if you were buying a notebook for your other classes or a binder for your other classes, the sketchbook is the same way. You could spend just as little as a couple bucks to get a composition notebook that has blank pages. So something similar to this, right? Composition notebook, blank page paper on the inside, no lines, no grid. You can usually pick these up for $1 or $2, $1.50, $2. You can get them on Amazon. This will work, okay? You could also just simply get a binder like this one and then put paper in it. And you could add either drawing paper or even just plain white paper would work. It's not quite as, as good, I would think, as if you were to get some drawing paper. You could also buy any number of commercial sketchbooks available. You go to any office supply store, art supply store, and you can find sketchbooks ranging from as little as $4 or $5 up to $10 or $15, $20, depending upon the size and the quality of the paper inside and the binding. Now, that's to say, I don't mean that you have to run out and buy a $20 sketchbook, okay? At least whatever you can get that will work for you, that allows you to do your work and to keep your drawings together, keep your ideas together, that's fine, okay? Now, we will have weekly sketchbook assignments, and those will be posted to Schoology. Most of the time, I will post the sketchbook assignments on Thursdays to be completed by the next Thursday. So you'll have about a week to work on these sketchbook assignments. And that's these sketchbook assignments are going to be something that will help you to develop your skills. We will also do projects, and those projects will be, you'll have about a week to complete the projects as well. So between the sketchbook and the projects, you'll have somewhere between 2 and 3, 4 drawings that you'll complete each week. This is generally what we would do in class. So you would be doing the project drawing in class, and you'd be doing the sketchbook drawing at home, not as homework, but just as practice, okay? Now, how you're going to submit your completed work. So what you're going to do is you're going to, once you have your sketchbook drawings completed, then you're going to use your phone to take a picture of those drawings, make sure that there's adequate lighting so that I can see the drawings, and then you're going to submit that. If it's a single image, you'll submit it as a JPEG, just as an image, okay? If it's multiple images, then you throw it into a PowerPoint and submit the PowerPoint. So, but either way, you'll turn that in by just taking pictures with your phone and turning those in. So an example might be like this, right? So this is, you would just snap a quick picture of the drawing and then you throw that into a PowerPoint and turn it in. Now, these sketchbook assignments are going to vary. You're going to have a little bit of creative freedom. They're going to be both technical and creative. And I want you to experiment and explore. And I'm going to give you some video instruction. I'm going to do some demos. I'm going to use some YouTube videos that I think are really good to kind of spark our interest in terms of how we use drawing and how we view it, rather than just simply doodling. This is not doodling, okay? So I don't want you to use your sketchbook as a place to just randomly doodle or draw things. But if you're really focusing on practicing those techniques in your sketchbook, you're going to develop your drawing skills very quickly, okay? Now, in terms of what materials you'll use to draw in the sketchbook, each assignment will direct you towards what I want you to use, whether it's pencil or graphite pencil or charcoal pencil, eventually some color pencils, some ink, and I'm going to be putting together kits that will help you of some materials that I have here that I'm going to share with you if you need me to. Again, you don't need to run out and buy a whole bunch of drawing equipment right now, especially not for the sketchbooks. Most of the time, sketchbook is going to be done either in pencil, whether it's graphite or charcoal, in pen, or in color pencil. We'll do a little bit when we get to charcoal, maybe some charcoal in the sketchbook, but I don't really want you to do that too often because it can make your sketchbook dirty and difficult to use later, okay? So if you don't already have one, right, I want you between now and the time the first sketchbook assignment is finished or is ready to be turned in, I'd like you to go to one of the art supply stores or the office supply stores, and get you a sketchbook. If you have any questions or problems with that, please feel free to email me, and we'll talk about the best way to get you a sketchbook. Okay. All right. So if you have any questions, again, please email me. But go ahead and get that sketchbook and get some just basic graphite pencils. That's all you need for now. And maybe a couple of erasers as well. Those will be helpful. And then we'll be ready to get started. All right.